My name is Neiva. I'm a researcher in the Finnish Center for Smart Cities in the area of sustainability and green transitions. And this workshop here starts with the mobility topic. So there are many more that you will hear after lunch. But this here, so we start with some of the topics. And in the afternoon session, we will also have the mobility topics. Then we also have a couple of energy topics. Just for your understanding, so how we have scheduled, as we have only 1 hour and 15 minutes. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. We're trying to get into 301, another group 2. Does anybody have card? We are locked in there.
Okay. Where was I? Okay, so we have 1 hour and 15 minutes. That means that we so the idea is to have 10 minutes for a general introduction. So everybody introduces him or herself, just name and the institution and maybe research area. Or if you're from a company or another institution, just the field where you work. And then we start with the challenges. So the idea is that each of the challenge provider describes the challenge, but very briefly. So you have only 5 minutes to introduce the challenge. And then we have a 5-minute round for questions. And then we'll try to make a summary. And then at 12, we have lunch. So we try to finish the workshop a bit before 12. Everything clear? So this, now I'm going to show you the list of the challenges. As I don't know, and Neiva, are you present? Hope so.
Yeah, hello.
Oh, great. Thank you. I'm just checking whether all the challenge providers and presenters are present, and then we'll start the round of introductions.
Okay.
Thank you. Ülemiste, yes, I can see. Yes, here. Then Valga. Okay, great. Port of Tallinn. Yeah. And Riga. I think you should also be online.
Good morning. Yes, we are 2 people out here. Yeah.
Great, great. So I see that everybody is present. We had an ask that would it be possible that Riga, you could do your presentation as the second one. Is that fine for you? So Ülemiste, because they have to be at another session. So would that be fine that Ülemiste, you do, not Ülemiste, Riga, that you do your presentation or the quick overview of the challenge as the second presenter?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, why not?
Thank you. So this is clear now. Then okay, now we can start with the round of introductions. So just maybe we'll start here.
Hello, I'm Priit. I'm actually landscape architect, but I also have interest in lots of different research studies in urban environment, mobility, all that.
My name is Mojgan, and I'm assistant professor at the Intelligent Transportation Lab, University of Tartu, Institute of Computer Science. And well, I do research using spatial temporal data for modeling, optimizing, forecasting, all sorts of mobility modeling and transportation modeling tasks. We have done projects with City of Tartu for modal share estimation, and we have launched daily monitoring mobility platform for Tartu City. If you're interested, I can show that later.
Good morning, my name is Eneken and I'm coming from Ülemiste City. So my area is actually more connected to the general collaboration with higher education and science. But right now I just wait here, collect the information, and then my colleague will come and help with this topic. But we also collaborate with Taltech. We have, how to say, our own professorship actually in Taltech. We are founders of Future City professorship, and I somehow represent Professor Jenny Pardanen also here. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Siim. I'm from Valga municipality, usually working with origin projects, and just right now helping out our municipality people, environment specialist, to present her idea of the problem we have.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, hello, City of Tallinn, and our session is after the lunch. We stayed here until then, listening to you have, and so nice to see so many very interesting challenges that are actually in our on our table, on our plate as well. So.
Same here, City of Tallinn. Markus is my name.
Yeah, Andres, my name is very nice.
Thanks. Thank you.
So I will continue. My name is Ainik Kibura, and currently I'm working as postdoctoral researcher here in Finnes Center. And I have worked with different mobility topics over 10 years, and I have been mostly using this mobile phone-based data sets, and so a lot of different statistical and spatial analysis I have integrated in my studies.
Hello, my name is Heleme Metsal from Port of Tallinn, and I'm head of the development department. And I'm one of the challenges. I will explain it then.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tim Asperges. I am the advisor on mobility planning for the city of Leuven. And for a very small part, I'm also a guest professor for the University of Hasselt in Belgium. And I am an urban planner, transport planner from background. But in the recent years, I'm now working as an advisor for around 9 years for the city of Leuven. I've been setting up a mobility department in that city where the issue of course, urban planning is a basic, but where the issue of data-driven policy is the core. And I will explain this in the afternoon, where I am one of the inspirational speakers on the topic of mobility.
So after lunch.
Probably I understood in the introduction that if there are challenges which could connect to the city of Leuven, then I understood that we have to do bond.
So there have to be at least 2 cities interested, and there can be additionally a campus or like an area in a city or in a more rural area probably, but there has to be at least 2 cities interested in each of the challenges.
Yeah. And just last, but I will say it this afternoon also, so the city of Leuven, we are selected as the eye capital of Europe, but at this moment we are also the president of the European City and Region Network Polis, which is a city and region network which is doing innovation on urban mobility. And there are around 115 big and small cities and regions member of the Polis network. So we really have also an interconnection with each other on doing projects on innovation in urban mobility.
Hello, my name is Taavi Rebane. I work at Viimsi municipality, which is located just northeast of Tallinn. The challenge we proposed will be presented this afternoon, but now I'm just listening to the other challenges.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Helena Chernavol. I'm a founder of GaiaHub company, and we're building a climate impact monitoring platform based on traffic data. So we work in mobility domain. And our company startup is a spin-off from Taltech course, which was a Green Deal Collider course. So Our team members mostly are researchers from Caltech, so I'm doing my external PhD in software sciences. In our team we also have another lady who is doing also a PhD in software sciences. So that's why we are considering analysis of the challenges from the both perspective as a company and also as a researchers.
Thank you. So now let's continue with those of you who are online and who would like to present themselves. Who wants to start online?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Sergio Agriesti here. Hello, everyone. I am a PhD student from Aalto University. I worked at Politecnico di Milano previously. The focus of my work is on automated mobility and assessing of trials through modeling and definition of scenarios, KPI, and more limited policy analysis. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Just quick, as we're a bit behind time, so just quickly your name and the research field. Thank you. Or yeah, position or company. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Daniel Prato from Colombia. I represent the city of Neiva, and we have some research related to mobility and transportation, especially on freight cargo transportation.
Thank you.
But Kaja, you could invite every name because
okay,
we are
let's do that.
distant and
here. Yes, Kalle.
not so organized.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Kalle Toiskalli. I'm half in Finest Center. I was supposed to lead this group, but I'm in a flu at home in Finland, so I'm very grateful for Kaja that she took on a very short notice this moderating task.
Very sorry that we don't have Kalle here, as he is much more experienced than I am. That's how life is. But hope you will get better soon, Kalle.
Yeah, thank you.
So Michails.
Yes, hello everyone. Good to be here today. My name is Michails Potichonens. I'm from the city of Riga City Development Department. We are from Mobility Planning Division together with my colleague Andrzejs, and we are representing the Safe Way to School challenge, which concerns the mobility of younger pupils and overall pedestrians in Riga.
Thank you. Juho.
Hello, Juho Kostiainen from Business Helsinki, and I'm the coordinator of Mobility Lab Helsinki, which is the city's test bed for smart mobility, helping pilot things in Helsinki.
Thank you. Teija.
Hello, my name is Teija Vainio. I'm a researcher currently working at the Tampere University in Finland and focusing on human technology interaction in general and in the context of urban environments particularly. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Daniel?
Hi, I already introduced myself.
Oh, sorry. Then Jan.
Hi everyone. So my name is Jing and I'm from Aalto University. I'm doing PhD research. So my topic is related to how to use AI and big data to evaluate the perceived walkability. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now I think Riga and Jess.
Yes, hi everyone, colleague of Michails and also the Riga City Development Department. Thank you.
Thank you. So I hope everybody, or is there anybody who I don't see? Because I have a limited screen, so maybe there is somebody online who hasn't been able to present him or herself. Nope. Then let's go right away into the challenges. So Neiva, I will stop sharing my screen. I think then Then you can share your screen. I don't know whether you have anything to present, but that's not that relevant that you have any slides. But you can now start. So you have 5 minutes, and you can now start presenting your challenge to all the listeners and audience here.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, as I mentioned before, I'm on behalf of Neiva City, which is an intermediate city with over 300,000 people, and it has some particularities because it's mainly an agricultural center. They produce. There are farmers which produce rice, cotton, corn, and some kind of agriculture products. And it's also a very popular tourist destination. They have a weather about 26 to 30 Celsius degrees all over the year. So it's a nice place to live, but they have some issues related to the mobility in the city. There are several problems that I would like to highlight here because there are not a very good freight road infrastructure, and there is a high relevance on private vehicles. The majority of people in Neiva travel by private vehicles, either by cars, but mainly they use motorcycles. So it means that there is a high rates of accidentalities in the city. Most of the people of low incomes use motorcycles to as a work um, tool, and this is also a city which not that well developed public transportation systems. There are some problems related to the security for women also. I would like to also highlight the traffic congestions, especially during the rush hours because of motorcycles. And again, when motorcycles and freight cargo vehicles go into the downtown of the city, again, this produce traffic congestions, increase the accidentality levels, and there is also a lack of pedestrian and bike infrastructure. There are enough space for pedestrians and for sustainable solutions. So what we want to do, or what we are looking for, is in order to improve or to create innovative solutions for cycling, for walking, but without compromising the efficiency or the competitivity for companies in order to deliver the cargo products. So this requires, for example, to improve infrastructure conditions, to improve or to implement new technologies, sustainable and low-cost technologies. But the main challenge, I think, is how to introduce these kind of solutions by helping people to change its behavioral component in order to adopt these kind of technologies. We need, or we encourage, we are talking that that kind of population does not have enough educational resources. So we need to work with how to change or how to help from the cultural point of view their behavior in order to adopt new and sustainable solutions for improve the mobility in the city.
So thank you very much, Daniel. So do I understand you correctly? So I understand that the main challenge is that there is too much traffic, there are accidents, there are traffic jams, and there is also a lot of pollution because of too much traffic and also motorcycles. But as I understand, it's a very like multi-dimensional or multi-layered challenge, because it's not only that we cannot change these things like right away, and there is also the people's mindset, how they whether they want to walk or whether they want to take a motorcycle or whether they want to take a car for driving somewhere. So it's a very multi-dimensional or challenge.
It is indeed. And at the end, what we want is that Neiva can become a city that where you can travel between 15 minutes all over the city, because it's not that big, you know.
Thank you very much. So are there any
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. I know that probably the time there where you are right now is probably 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock. So we're 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's yeah. So we're very happy that you're making the effort and being here with us. So are there any questions?
What city was it?
Neiva in Colombia, and I checked. So it's a bit lower. It's where Cali is. Probably some of you know where Cali is. So it's more south, and it's probably like right from Neiva is already the natural reserve of the rainforest. Yes, so it's a fairly small city, as I understand. So only 1.5 square kilometers and 300 something 100,000 citizens. So it's not very big, of course, with what we compare, but comparing with the big cities in Latin America, it's fairly small. So I think it's as a small city, you have the means. It's probably a bit easier to manage some of the challenges. But any clarifying questions from the audience? Yes. Yes.
Well, sort of strategical question. Hopefully, my voice will stand. So as Kaya mentioned, you have recognized the problem, but it sounds like infrastructural and sort of very big scale problem to change in one project. So what do you have in mind? Is more like marketing, sort of mobility management type of marketing and change of attitudes, or little pilot in which you would try new type of infrastructure enabling more bicycling instead of motorcycling, or what do you have in mind in general?
Thanks for your question. We would like to pick the downtown as a area to make a pilot, not focus in the whole city, but just in the downtown. Because, is where there is a higher concentration of vehicles for mobility, from passengers and from freight transportation.
Yeah, I tried to put the link, Google Map link in the chat, but I didn't take it for a reason to show the map of the
I'm trying to put some photos, but I can't.
Yeah. Well,
Can I
Yes.
for that.
may I ask, what would be this?
Sorry, Kalle, there is a question from the audience. Yes.
What would be the success metrics of this project? Like, do you want to see the less number of private cars on the road, or you are calculating the air quality and you want to see the lower, like the air quality is increased, or like, do you have any KPIs for this project?
So, Tiny, and do you have any any concrete I don't know whether it's an outcome or we can call them as KPIs. So what are the things that you would like to, or the indicators that you would like to change after the
Yeah,
pilot?
we can. We would like to
Maybe let's
reduce
call
the.
let's name three. Otherwise, it might be too long. But let's name three main indicators that you would like to change after the pilot.
Okay, I will focus on reduce the travel times, to reduce the accidentality levels, and to reduce the air quality
That's clear.
impacts.
Okay, thank you. That's very clear. I just have to make a small remark that I'm also a big fan of Colombia. Have been there several times, so I've seen I've been in Medellin, in some of the northern cities, and I've really seen the situation, what there is with traffic. So it's very complicated, and then we here cannot imagine how many bikes and motorcycles there can be on one road, and so it's very dangerous. So yes, this is definitely a huge challenge, but has very multiple small challenges in the smallest challenge. So this is also a challenge for you, Daniel, to try to to systematically focus on the main areas. But thank you very much, Daniel, for making the effort and giving the presentation here in such early morning of yours. So thank you, and let's continue now with the second presenter. So from Riga, Mihails.
Yes, once again, good morning, everyone. Glad to see everybody here, and I will tell in a couple of words about our challenge, which is a safe way to school. So to overview the issue in very general manner, first of all, it is one of the planned activities to be developed until 2027 for Riga. In terms of the sustainable development program, yet still, unfortunately, it has not been addressed in any way properly. So we are with this initiative, with this call, and with this opportunity, we are looking to address it to understand how can we measure and what makes a safe way to school for younger pupils, and encourages the availability of commuting by personal means every day. But starting from the mobility issues is that since 2019 there have been changes in the modal split of how overall users commute on the everyday basis. Where back in 2019, before COVID pandemic, many households, around 42% of all households used private cars, but 46%, so a little bit less than half of all users commuting used public transport. Micromobility at that time was less popular, but the COVID outbreak changed it, but unfortunately not in the better way. So the micromobility and walking commute didn't really grow that much yet, but public transport use was significantly decreased due to safety measures, and many households started using vehicles more. There is still little information on why, after the pandemic, there is still little information on what is the most precise modal split at this time, and how the people and why the people use specific means of commute, and especially regarding some distinguished groups like pupils and scholars who try to do it on their own, and obviously since they are underage, they cannot use private vehicles, not all of them, but they are still doing it on foot, by bicycles or public transport. So we are trying to assess the factors, the safety and the availability of urban environment, with including all the factors that they are embracing, like quality of pedestrian walkways and bicycle lanes, reliability and quality of public transport services, and availability of means of commuting alternative to any motorized vehicles, as I said before. The idea is that that scholars are also more exposed to all the risks in urban environment, as also pollution takes place, especially for the younger age pupils who are more vulnerable to any harmful elements, and due to being lesser in terms of their height, they are more exposed to emission gases coming from the exhaust pipes from vehicles. So help understanding and assessing the younger people in being safer and having a better experience in the urban environment will help us improve general quality of commuting by foot and by bicycle. So we are addressing that. I'm sorry, and then. We are also with this research, we are also trying to understand which indicators should be used to assess the current state of urban environment, specifically taking into account the issue we raise. So commuting by foot and by micromobility vehicles, transport means. And then what should we propose in the monitoring package to properly evaluate the effect of gradually introduced changes? So how do we actually measure, not only what changes do we offer, but also how do we measure them? And as I mentioned before, there were not many studies, separate studies or surveys made, and the degree of cooperation with the schools, between schools and municipality, is quite small, unfortunately. But as we see, unfortunately, from the statistics, the road accidents that involve underage citizens is not equal to zero, which means that there are still quite some issues for that pupils experience, that younger citizens experience on the daily basis. So we addressing this both in the neighborhoods of Riga and in the city center of Riga, where population density is still quite high, both in the neighborhoods and in the neighborhoods even higher, around like 2,000 people per square kilometer on average. And in the city center, it's maybe just a touch less, but not even in all areas. Somewhere it's even denser. So we are looking at this issue as a very complex scenario of what we will be assessing and improving. Yeah, and as a solution, we would.
Sorry, I have to stop you now because we're
sure.
behind time. But so just to be clear, do I understand you correctly that the challenge, the challenge that you face is how to make the way to school for children, mainly for children, but also for grown-ups who guide the children, more safe? And this and this is in terms of, you also would like to study the different parameters there. So
absolutely.
So as you don't have yet the information or the data regarding air quality, I don't know, probably you have something related with traffic jams, but so the different characteristics or parameters, meters also around this safe way to school. So is this the challenge?
Yeah, it's pretty much, you summed it up very, very correctly. We are trying to assess what makes how safe the way to school is right now, and what makes the safe way to school. We have some data, but it's quite fragmented, so it's not systematic. So we are trying to actually put it in a systematic way, and we are looking for researchers to investigate this whole issue and maybe share experiences with other cities. How do they measure and tackle this issue? Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much. Are there any clarifying questions online or here in the auditorium? It seems to be all clear. So if there are any questions afterwards, you're also happy. We're happy to be at your hand and
Yeah,
help.
just maybe a tiny remark from my side, which I didn't manage to present properly in the presentation, is that as a pilot project, we will be looking to cooperate with different schools, both in the neighborhoods and in the central area. So trying to understand what from their side could be done also to promote the safer way to school. Yeah, that's it.
And those schools probably have to be in Riga and also in some other city, I understand.
Primarily in Riga, because we still have like many people commuting throughout the Riga territory, but further on, if the pilot project will go well, why not in the neighboring municipalities? It can also be a possibility, I think, yeah.
So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, yes.
And so next one is Valga.
Do I need to come front or I can do it?
You can do as you feel.
Okay, so what was our problem? Our problem is that is the lack of traffic tracking info, and to make it more systematically and more continuous. Like we have the problem that all the information that we get it like we can do it in one or two times in a year, and this doesn't give us the knowledge how the traffic is changing, and how we can optimize it for like the street wideness and for the bicycles and pedestrians. Valga has really narrow streets, so we can't have like pedestrian, bicycles and cars, and for cars like two lines and everything. We need to make it like more like one-way roads. One-way roads, yes. So, but we lack the information, like what way, how many people, how many cars, all that information. Yes, we don't have it. If we would have it, then it would we would have we could get we could optimize it and yes, create more like we could be more economic and reduce the CO2 levels also, because I know that I think Tallinn and Tartu is only cities in Estonia that population is growing, but all the other little cities, their population is going down, and this change, like Valga is basically designed for 25,000 people, but right now we have 15,000. So to optimize that, we should need, and also like Elva, Põlva, Võru, all these other smaller cities have the same problem. They don't.
Maybe it's even like an opportunity, because otherwise, if you have so narrow roads and if the population would be increasing, this would be even a bigger challenge for you. Yes. How to manage the mobility and people moving, bicycles moving, cars moving. So, but this might be an opportunity, but I totally agree. And correct me if I'm wrong, how I understand the challenge in your case is to get better mobility, traffic data for making better planning decisions or yes. Infrastructure planning decisions.
Yes, because now if we are ordering these data collecting projects, then it's like companies do it differently. Some do it like with wire over the road, and then some do it like in person just sitting, counting people, bicycles, cars. But this we can't use it like continuously. We need systematic like traffic or something to see the changes in like streets specifically.
It's a very clear challenge. Yes, questions.
You don't currently have any sensor installed?
No, no.
Nothing.
Yes, this is, I think, for all the like small cities have
And
this
do you
problem.
have like currently traffic problem, or you just wanna?
We don't have like traffic problems. We don't have like traffic jams and stuff, but we have like too much for cars and too little for people.
I see.
This is the point, but we can't change it if you don't have the data for it. Yes, this is the problem.
One question, because it's very interesting case because as you know that Valga is also there.
Yes.
But what is the cooperation between Valga and Valga to tackle these issues related to mobility? Or it's like maybe Valga would like to join and you can have this.
We are always making cooperations with Valga. Right now we have with Valga this strategy project where we want to connect our bus transport, like make it two countries to make it one, so that you can sit on the bus in Valga and go to the Valga with the same bus.
They're like in
Like some common data system as well.
Yes, as well, like how much people are like going from one country to other, because it's walking over the border as well. So yes, it's a good problem for smaller cities.
If the population is decreasing, yes.
Yes.
So it
how we
might be an
manage it.
opportunity, yes, but I totally agree. For that, you need to have data for making more data-based decisions. Any questions from the online audience? Doesn't seem to be any. So if there are afterwards any new questions or any questions that you might ask, we're also here all the time. So thank you very much. Let me think. Let's because we have a bit of a change in the schedule. So
we can be the last.
You can be the last one. So Port of Tallinn. Yes. Yeah, you can come here.
Yes, the northeast, I think.
Yes,
That's the point, yeah.
That's the point.
Yes, I'm Helena Metsa from Port of Tallinn. Port of Tallinn is one of the biggest port authorities in Estonia, and we own 4 ports, but the challenges are related to Old City Harbour, which is in a city center port. It's a big gateway. As the first challenge, and the both challenges are actually related. And the first one is user-friendly public transport for all. Of course, it's intriguing title. Throughout our Old City Harbour, 10 million passengers yearly passing. So it's 60% of it are pedestrians, actually. And 45 of those are Finns and 40 Estonians mostly. Of course, we have a total very international crowd, but anyway, these are the most common users of the Port of Tallinn's gateway. Lot of those are frequent travelers. And a lot of those pedestrians are brought to the ports, both in Helsinki and Tallinn, by cars, or by private cars, or by taxis, or dropping off them. And 40%, of course, are driving the cars to the ferry as well. So the challenge is actually how to attract those people, use more public transportation in a way that the cars don't have to go and jam the port areas when the vessel is arriving or leaving. Because it is as a turnaround time from the frequent ferry lines are only 20-40 minutes in total. It means that there will be a lot of cars, a lot of jams around the port area, and afterwards it's empty. So the challenge is how to lower the CO2 level by not bringing them by cars, by private cars to the area. It is actually a common challenge to cities of Tallinn and Helsinki as well, because both cities of Helsinki and Tallinn and Port of Tallinn and Port of Helsinki and our ferry companies
just last week signed a memorandum of understanding by creating a thinnest green corridor between Tallinn and Helsinki to make the customer journey more less, let's say, CO2 emitting. So the challenge is how to motivate people to use public transportation, and the problem is actually there that we have an infrastructure for the public transportation in port area. There will be a new tram line as well, but people are not used to it. Why? That is a challenge. Maybe there is a ticketing system different between in both cities. The schedules are not matching with ferry schedules, and this kind of small things maybe can be solved very easily, but still they haven't been solved yet. So that's a challenge from that point.
Yes, so thank you very much, Helle-Mai. So probably this challenge is somehow close to maybe all of us, because I think most of us have traveled from Tallinn to Helsinki at least once or more times. So it's very, and we can also, those of us who live in Tallinn, you can really see the jams there, the traffic jams. So it's a quite big challenge, I would say. Though I don't want to minimize any challenges in smaller cities, because there are also big challenges for the people living there. So don't, correcting myself, so don't misunderstand me. I think what is all and what is not unique, but what is all similar or comparable in all of the challenges is that in this challenge, you can see that it's not only the infrastructure, the technical infrastructure, it's the mindset of people, how we adapt to the different virtual and physical infrastructure, and how we change our mindset in a way. So while reading the different challenges, I found your challenge very well defined. So are there any questions from the audience or here physically or online?
I have just one comment about this public transportation, because you say that people should use it more, but even for me, coming from Tartu, it's not easy to use the system in Tallinn. So very often when I'm very busy, I still have to take a Bolt or something else to go somewhere, because I basically just can't use. I would not say that I'm really bad at using technology, but just to buy the ticket is so difficult for me. So because I don't have these cards, and so somehow to.
I'm just wondering. So if while traveling, for example, in France or in Italy, you see that their train systems, of course, there can be delays, and things might be closed, or the roads or the train lines are closed, but it's somehow working really well. You have the ticketing machine right in the stop. Yeah. So in the stop where you take the train, or sometimes it's also maybe in the train station. But still, it's quite easy. You can find it easily. So maybe this is something that we have to learn from these big countries that are, I don't know, somehow have a quite well managed, or I don't know, scheduled, or what's the right word, but yes, train and bus systems. Bus system not maybe that well, but still, yes. So how does it work there? Yeah, and why not here? But that's what I've seen in many of the stops. They have you can buy the ticket right from the stop, so you don't have to go anywhere, but you can, and the machine works for different tickets. So that's also a good option sometimes. Yes, any questions?
One question from the other angle.
Yes, Kalle.
Sort of ferry operators are very actively selling and marketing the option to take a car into the ferry, and your shoppings are delivered directly to the car, and a lot of space in port area is dedicated to cars. So I'm thinking, how realistic is this challenge from the bigger point of view? Are the ferry operators supporting it at all?
By signing the memorandum of understanding, they actually support the idea that the travel journey should be carbon neutral in that sense. Yes, but of course they have some business models what they are supporting more or less. But I'm actually focusing with the challenge with the pedestrians, also the people who are being brought to the harbor area by cars as well, because they are jamming as well as area. If you have been in Old City Harbor after we have reconstructed our D-terminal exterior area as well, we have a lot of spaces for car parking, for taxi parking in front of the D-terminal as well, and they all going to end on the same. The cars which are driving to the harbor area are all going to jam the main streets of Tallinn as well. If there is a very well working and very well, let's say, understandable public transportation for the tourists and commuters, then maybe these kind of jams are going to be less. We don't want to tackle straight away with all the. We don't want to throw out all the car traffic from the vessels and to the vessel, but those who can come by public transportation should come.
And actually, there are probably people who would like to.
Yes.
So that's the
Like
thing.
you.
I would like to use public transport, but if it's so complicated, then it's people don't just choose it.
Yes, and then that actually applies for the Finns as well, because we have ticketing machines in our terminals and everything, and we have all those kind of information tables and everything. But still, it is hard because the schedules don't match. The bus just drove off when the people are going up from the ferry, let's say. So these kind of little things actually matters as well. If you have smooth, like you already told about the French railway connections and stops and everything. So if that can be already, let's say, tackled for the class, then of course it can be much easier to teach people to use it.
And it doesn't even seem to be like a huge technical step forward or big innovation or anything. It's just like
linking things
systematically coming up with the best solution. So thinking what are the small dots that you have to connect together. Yes, Kalle, you had a.
Well, this sounds very much like simply the service design task. I mean, marketing and science, and I use several times the Harbor D terminal. And what I can see, a huge taxi station, then the huge parking area, very big drop-off area, and then nice pedestrian areas, but they are not leading to anything. So simple guidance and sort of marketing, and that I've never seen ticket machine in the terminal, by the way. So I take Bolt ride as always, but yeah, that sounds very doable thing after all.
And one issue was actually maybe we should unify the systems with Tallinn and Helsinki, because we use the same passengers, the same people. So that be linked as well, in not let's say have a same system, but the user experience should be same in that sense.
Yes, and that's what we while the representative of Valga. So as you have a similar Valga and Valka, and people are commuting from between the two cities, so it's a kind of a similar challenge. So how we could make the commuting for the people most convenient between different cities. So it's a similarity between the challenges. Thank you, and you have another challenge.
Next one, actually, what Toivo already started with. This is the smart mobility of crowds, and of course, again, a very intriguing title. By crowds, we mean not only people but cars as well. So we have there just following the same area, Old City Harbor. We are the tourist gateway as well, and like I already told you, that there will be, let's say, for 20 minutes there will be a lot of people, a lot of cars, a lot of everything, and then it will be empty. But in time, when there's a lot of people, a lot of cars, it is very jamming all the city side and also by pedestrian as well. So and there are three different groups of people, of commuters as well. There are commuters who knows very well where to go. There are tourists which are wandering around, finding a place and where to go. And then, of course, there are the vehicles which should be guided away from the city center much quicker, like they have not done that yet. The guide of the crowds should be, like Toivo already said, should be safe and very visible. In port area, we have to, let's say, we're trying to make it much better, but when it says going outside of the port area, it's a little bit fuzzy for them. Another issue is how to spread or disperse cruise guests or cruise tourists, which we have actually in the summertime quite a lot. And Sarah is already speaking about, let's say, really bad expression, but tourist pollution in Old Town. So because all the sightseeing tours are at the same time in the same spots, so they should be divided in a very smart way, that people who live in Old Town can be happy, and tourists who want to visit Old Town will be happy as well. Some of the tourists have to use buses because, let's say, their mobility is not very good and everything. So this kind of things to be taken into account as well by guiding the tourists. And for the vehicles, yes, I already told that we have very schedules. Actually, these are very commonly known, but our traffic light, let's say, the guidance in the city side is not matching with those ferry connections. Maybe some kind of smart solution can be used in order to guide the traffic. We have, unfortunately, still we have trucks as well in our ferries to guide them out of the city center quite quickly with smart, in a smart way, and in a way that city traffic is not jammed by redirecting maybe the city traffic somehow, or letting people know that there will be a vessel and a little jam or something like that, just for an idea. So yes, that is our challenge.
Any questions from the audience? I understand that they are a bit related.
They are related.
And also a bit related with some of the other challenges here. But of course, as the location is different, so the context might be a bit different because it's, for example, in your case, it's a port. Your case, it's not a port, it's just two cities where people commute with each other or commute between the cities. So as the idea of this workshop was also to discuss the challenges in a way, whether we see that some of the challenges maybe could be united. So yes, we can afterwards think about it a little and see whether it's possible to unite some of the, or link some of the challenges. But if there are no further questions, so thank you very much.
I have a question about the first topic, first challenge that you presented. At least in my experience, the public transport connectivity in Helsinki, Port of Helsinki, is much better than in Tallinn. Do you have any data on what the numbers are in Helsinki compared to Tallinn?
You mean passenger numbers?
Yeah, passenger numbers, total share.
Same, because we use the same terminals, yes. And even they have in Länsi terminal, you mentioned about Länsi terminal, yeah, because there's a new tram line. Yes, Länsi terminal, they have a little bit less than we have in Old City Harbour, because in Old City Harbour, we also have traffic is from Helsinki coming there. But in Helsinki, Länsi terminal use only Ekra and so 9 million. It was before COVID, but the numbers are already increasing. It's coming. The passenger numbers are already increasing after the COVID, so yeah. So the challenge, and of course, by public transportation, you mean only tram, because there's only tram bus stop.
Yeah, and just as a curiosity, I live quite close to Tallinn bus station, so I compared how long it would take me to go to Terminal A in Tallinn, and it would take me half an hour, regardless of whether I was walking or taking public transport. So, and by car, it's 10 minutes.
Like right now, when there is a lot of
construction works ongoing,
or the tram lines still work. So, of course, the new tram line isn't operational, but the current ones work. And by car, it's 10 minutes. So if the difference is 3 times,
That is,
obviously I'm going to drive.
That is the challenge, because there's a lot of linked challenges. One is how to how to make people use public transportation. It needs the quality of the public transportation as well, but that doesn't mean that only.
So yes, very good, and thank you, Juha, for posting your comment also in the chat. So there is not only the time, but it's also it's also the money wise. So if it costs the same using public transport than taking a Bolt,
yes.
So it doesn't provide any incentives for only it might, if you're very environmentally aware, then this might be an incentive for you that you'll still take the public transport even though it costs the same. But yeah, here maybe
if I may add a comment here from Tallinn side, I wanted just to say thank you for the compliment that car traffic is in Tallinn so good, only 10 minutes using public transportation. Yeah, most definitely room for improvement, but yeah, that means there's a not so big issues with car traffic.
It doesn't take into consideration probably the ferry arriving and all the passengers are leaving at the same time. So,
well, just taking the good from here, that means it's not so bad.
So Tallinn is promoting car travel. I assume, right?
I don't know. Since it's a convenient and efficient way.
But yes, but environmental awareness actually is raising right now, and the challenges we are facing by the city authorities as well actually are the same, and we shouldn't promote only using by car by one person. That is one issue, and I think Tallinn should do something about public transportation in order to make it comparable or completable, competing with private cars. Competitive, yes.
Yes, so it's also the big climate goals that that the EU is pushing, and we as member states are also should follow. And I believe that we also want to follow them. So because it's all a smart city is not only a city where you can drive quickly or you can get to one point to another quickly, but it's also should be a city where you want to live and where is a healthy environment and there are trees and then you feel safe. So it's not only the getting from one point to the other. Yes, but thank you very much, Elamai. If no further question, then let's give the floor to the final challenge and city of Ülemiste Tech Park.
Hi everyone, my name is Rauno. I'm from minor Ülemiste, from Ülemiste City, and I'm the head of development there. The topic today would be, or the biggest issue that we have actually, or one of the biggest issues is accessibility in Ülemiste City. Ülemiste City has developed itself rather rapidly. It started developing in 2005, more or less, with the new office buildings, and now we have already 16,000 inhabitants there. So the one challenge that we have is that accessibility with the public transport is maybe not the best, or maybe not as good as we wish it would be. Because of the Rail Baltic terminal, the train line is currently cut, so we cannot use the trams to get to the city, and also the bus lines take a lot of time in order to get to the city. So if you walk around Ülemiste City, then you see a lot of cars on the parking lots, and this is something that we wish we wouldn't see. Or, I mean, our big idea is to put the cars into the parking lots, or the parking buildings, sorry. And we even have a good strategy in Ülemiste City that all the parking buildings are around the city, and the center of the city would be for the people, for the pedestrians and the bicyclists. We have been developing also together with the Tallinn pedestrian tunnels in order to connect Ülemiste City with the Sikupilli district, because we have there a big railway which is disconnecting Ülemiste City from the rest of the city, and this is actually basically you you could say like a Chinese wall that you cannot get over. You have to walk either 2 kilometers one side to walk to get to the other side of the railway. And so we are in the process together with Tallinn in designing the tunnels, but now is the money issue there as well. Designing them is fine, but actually building them is another issue. And therefore, actually, we would really need good data in order to prove that the tunnels are really necessary. So our aim is to use more bicycles, more electrical scooters instead of cars, and also to get the better public transport to Ülemiste City, so people wouldn't need to use that many cars. We have made a lot of different analysis between our community. And we see that a lot of people are using cars, and actually the number of cars is increasing every month. Probably because of the COVID, it was decreasing at some point, but now we see that it's getting higher and higher. And we really would like to keep the cars out of the city, and even, yeah, just to use more public transport, more scooters, more bicycles, and so it would be convenient for people to get to Ülemiste City without using a car. So that's the challenge, basically. I would say that we would like to have data that is useful enough for us to prove that, for example, Tallinn city should improve their transportation routes, the bus lines and tram lines to Ülemiste City. For example, if you want to, I don't know if people maybe don't know about Tallinn that much, but if you come from Kalamaja to Ülemiste City with the tram, it takes roughly 35 minutes, although the distance is really short. So I don't know, maybe there's a better way to do it. So we would like to have more analysis on that in order to get a better connection and to the city and lose the cars on the ground. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. So what I understand in your case, what is a bit maybe different from the other cases is that so the tech park or the area is already equipped with some sensors and smart sensors that where you can collect the data.
Yeah, we can.
But what you yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Yes, it is.
But you would still like to, so would you like to have more data so from around the city?
Yes,
So
I think we have to. I think in order to get the big picture, we have to go around Ülemiste City for a broader area, because we need to know where people are coming from, in which directions, and why are they using cars instead of public transport. And so to dig into the actual problem. Therefore, I think we need broader information.
So better collaboration and coordination of the data that is available in the city.
Exactly.
Or that could be available in the city, as much of it maybe is not available yet.
Yeah.
But also in your case, I understand they were also interested in the different like smart solutions or applications that in the end are able to process the data and provide information. So it's not only the data, but process data, provide the information for you for making better decisions.
Yes.
And also probably for having more information-based arguments to discuss with the city how to make the infrastructure, so there's decisions and also the funding. So any questions?
About you mentioned the multi-story car parks. Did I understand correct that people are not, or car drivers are not using them, or you are planning to do them, or?
We have already 4 parking buildings, but there are so many cars that they don't fit in them. So we have also parking on the ground, and so we have to do new car parking buildings, but we would rather spend the money elsewhere. So I think, yeah,
they're very expensive.
Yeah. We have them, but I mean, I would rather build a kindergarten instead of the parking building. So yeah,
it's
right.
Kalle and I don't know whether you probably haven't been there in Ülemiste in the area.
Yeah, true. I haven't been, but yeah, I can imagine this sort of business.
It's actually fairly, it's a good location because it's right next to the airport,
Yes,
probably
it
like
is.
5 minutes or so. You can easily walk.
Yeah.
And there is a tram line now from the airport.
There
to...
is, but yeah, current now for 2.5 years it will be closed.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay. I
It's
didn't
under
have-
construction right
During
now.
summer, I was in Pärnu, so I didn't have any of the trouble that you have had in Tallinn with the big constructions. So it's fairly good located and it has developed very well. So if compared to other, I would say compared to other tech parks or tech regions or small like campuses in Tallinn, I've seen your development, as you said, from 2005.
Yeah.
As I was at this time, I was in Tallinn Science Park Technical, and there are similar. So next to the university here. So I've seen the developments, and I think as you have more private money.
Yeah.
That's not a secret. So you have had the possibility to develop it even better. So, but I also see that yeah, you have a fitness center there. You have, so there are a lot of different and different restaurants, and so it's fairly well equipped with also different services that you can use during the working there or after working hours. So. But still, there are a lot of parking lots, and I also have had problems parking there, or I even I have never imagined to go with a bus there, so or with a tram. So, so that's I can.
Yeah, I mean, there's another concern
truly
that
see
we.
the challenge.
Yeah, and the other concern that we have actually is that we would like to have the city 24/7 for the people, but since we don't have that many inhabitants there, then people are all coming from around Tallinn, and so we would like to have it more mixed in the future, but we're working on that one.
If I may, to make this challenge more complicated, we have also two schools.
Yeah.
And more than 600 children coming to city to have their lessons every day. So we also have health center, which is rising, and it means that we have many elderly people and families with children and who are using these services. So it's not only for businessmen or for white collars, but it's for every type of people.
And this challenge I see might not even be different. For example, if we think about, I don't know, London city center, where there are a lot of business buildings, you see that during the day they're full of crowds, and in the evening they're totally empty. So yeah, on one hand you have the opportunities that you have these close connections, but still there are, or not even, maybe it's wrong to say connections, but the kilometers to the port, to the, not the port, but the airport and the city center are very little, but the connections, the physical connections are bad. So so that's what needs improvement, and what is the challenge. Any questions?
You mentioned that and bike transport.
Yes.
Do you specifically assess that by, I don't know, prioritizing snow clearing during the winter?
Yeah, since we also own the streets in the Ülemiste City, then we take care of the cleaning the streets. So we try.
Like better than the other cities, or
at least I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know that in Finland people use bicycles all winter around, not depending on the depth of the snow. But I mean, there's also
they actually prioritize.
Yeah, it's
usually. And for example, in Uppsala, I heard that they have some, I know, heating system underneath of the bike lanes, for example, to avoid ice.
With the bicycles, we have this problem that yes, in the city, if you are already in Ülemiste City, it's okay.
Yeah.
But how to access the Ülemiste City, because there is a big traffic junction.
Yeah.
And so on. This is a bigger problem for us actually.
Yeah, basically, if people come from Lasnamäe district, which is the biggest in Tallinn, then it's really difficult to get there. It's just, yeah, it is not the best connections. But yeah, as I said or mentioned, and we are designing together with Tallinn the pedestrian tunnels under the railway in order to get better connections. But I think there's also in the future about the money, how to invest or finance it, to construct the tunnels.
There was one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question. You mentioned that.
Sorry,
mentioned that
Kalle?
already you have the hardware available infrastructure, the sensors. But the question is, have you already worked with any software providers to process this data? And if yes, have you faced any issues with this data? Like it's not enough, or it collects only cars but not pedestrians and stuff like
I
this.
don't know, Enneke, do you know more about it?
Yes, we have some, I'm not sure how much I know, but but yes, we have some partners. We use Palma data. For example, we use Telia data to predict some traffic problems. And measure the impact of changes in the traffic. But yes, still we can do the decisions concerning the city itself, only the Ülemiste City, but not wider.
Okay, so the issue is not in the quality of data, but in the number. So you need to
and the rest of the additional data from having the meaningful information. Yeah, how is coming and where they are coming and so.
Okay, thank you.
Kalle.
So, a strategical question again, and these pilots are supposed to be something that could be utilized in the end as a product or a commercial product or product that makes society a really better place. So what kind of ideas you have at the moment? And are you preparing strategy how to improve these things, because these are not quick and easy to be changed, their attitudes and their infrastructure and everything. So what's your basic idea? What will be the sort of end product or end result of this challenge?
I think
complicated question.
Yeah,
because there might be many.
Maybe also it's some kind of city planning model, which city traffic planning model, which maybe have more, I don't know, characteristics to measure the impact, or to help to prevent some kind of decisions, or even to give the information, additional information to make some kind of decisions, not only for, as I said, for the Ülemiste City, for the city in general, and also for those väiksed linnad, need Valga suburbs, yeah. So it should be like a general tool, not only for to make some decisions inside some kind of region or district, but a little bit bigger.
Tallinn city representatives, what do you think about it?
I know that.
So I found it very interesting idea. So why not try to understand which of the parts in the city and around the city have a bigger flow of people, bigger commuting or bigger flow. And so which are the key areas in the city, and between them, how is the commuting, and then try to have a kind of a bigger map. What are the problems there and how it could be improved? I don't know what's this the idea, or
we already have something like
probably
that.
you have something. I'm pretty sure.
I can also have.
Could you please repeat the last question, because I missed.
Yes, sorry. I was a bit. I was a bit. Using my power of a moderator, trying to get your attention. But sorry. But the idea was that it would be interesting to see a kind of a bigger map of Tallinn and maybe the suburbs, but only those. Yeah, maybe this is again not very. Inclusive and equality related, but still to have at least the bigger locations where there is more commuting, and then to see how the commuting between these locations in the city, how well it's organized. So what are the possibilities to get there with car, with public transport?
Yeah.
No, probably you have something like
Exactly.
that already.
Grigori Parfionov has such a model. I can
Not exactly such model, but
yeah, exactly. So, how to comment on that? It's a work in progress. The topic itself is so complex, so many sides, so many stakeholders. The city is
Exactly.
is so complicated organism.
But that's what I'm now thinking, that why not, if we have to wrap up here because lunch is already served. But I was just thinking that maybe, and as I have to summarize now all this, so I see that there, so we had, you can on the screen see, we had 6 challenges, but many of the challenges were related with traffic jams. Of course, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Traffic jams, air pollution, providing a better environment for pedestrians, for bicycle drivers. So maybe one of, I'm not a specialist, but maybe one, and Külla probably also knows even better, whether there could be a pilot that somehow tries to, at least those that are related in Tallinn. So why not have a pilot that tries to connect the port of Tallinn, city of Ülemiste, what else we had in Tallinn? Which of the other challenges were related with Tallinn? So maybe there are other areas in locations in Tallinn that have more commuters, and we can somehow draw more data-based and better map on which to base the decisions. So this is the bigger goal. Maybe we can think of something like that. But thank you very much. I don't want to stand between the lunch and you. So thank you very much. I had a great time. I hope you had too. So we can discuss some of the mobility topics and many further after lunch. I will not be moderating the second mobility workshop. This will be moderated by Einari Kisel, but I will be in the people-centered city workshop. So thank you very much, and hope we can build some great pilots. Thank you.
Thank you.